I'm so excited that you came this week for our lesson. It's going to be super fun. We have some surprises for you, so make sure that you stay tuned through the whole thing so you can see what we got going on. So we finished up Moses last week, and this week we're heading on into Joshua. Joshua actually took over for Moses. Moses lived for 120 years. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. And he had a whole lot that he got done in his life too. So he was getting older, he was 120 years old. So God told him, Moses, it's time for you to go, and we're gonna put Joshua in your place. And he chose Joshua because Joshua followed Moses, and he obeyed everything he said. He fully believed that he was doing what God had told him to do. And he was very brave. He always did what almost nobody wanted to do. And he was a great warrior. So he was the perfect choice. So God told Moses, hey, Joshua's going to take over for you. Y'all come together, and I'm going to kind of talk things out with the both of you. So they all got together, and God spoke to Joshua and Moses wanted to make sure that Joshua understood, you've got to always talk to God. He's the one that saved us. He's the one that has always provided for us, and you have to obey everything he says because there's a reason for it. He is there for us. So he wanted to make sure that Joshua understood that, and he did. So Moses died, and Joshua took over, and he started leading the Israelites the rest of the way. And remember, they were heading to the promised land that God had promised for them to live in and flourish in, and it was going to be beautiful. So Joshua was leading the Israelites through. Now, they came across some people that didn't really want them to be there, and they had to fight and all of that. So Joshua had a lot of battles that he fought, and he won. But it's because he did what Moses said. He always talked to God first, and whatever God told him to do, no matter how crazy it sounded, he always did it. So God fought the battles for him. He went in front of Joshua and the Israelites, and he made sure to pave the way and make sure that they were going to be okay and that they would win those battles. So they've already kind of run across these, and now they have actually, word has spread, they're beating all of these, bad guys. And there's this really big city, the city of Gibeon. And they have heard about Joshua, and they wanted to become friends with him. So they met, and they kind of talked things out and said, hey, we kind of need each other. The city of Gibeon was really big, and all of their men were really good warriors. So they decided to join together, and they said, hey, we're going to help each other out. So they became friends and promised to be there for each other when they needed each other. So now they've formed this friendship, and they've got this peace going on, and they're this one big army, basically. So there's this king of Jerusalem. He was not happy when he heard about this alliance and this friendship that they had formed. He was actually pretty scared because he knew, he had heard about Joshua, that he had defeated all of these other people, and he knew that the city of Gibeon was really big and all of its men were soldiers. So he was kind of afraid. So he sent word out to 4 other kings, and he said, hey, I need y'all to help me because we need to defeat these people before they do something, and we don't like them anyway. So I need you guys to come and help me. So there are these 5 kings, and they brought their 5 armies all together, and they went to the city of Gibeon, and they started to attack them. So the men of Gibeon sent word to Joshua, and they said, we're under attack, we need you to help. So Joshua immediately gathered up his army, and he, of course, talked to God, and God told him, don't worry, not one will stand against you. I'm going to be there for you. So off they went, and they marched all through the night, and they caught the armies by surprise, and they started defeating them and winning, and God was with them the whole time, and they were just, this is a big army. You're talking 5 armies all together. That's a lot of bad guys. So they were starting to really get them, and some of them started to run away, and they were getting chased away. Well, God told Joshua, not one will stand against you. So God rained hail down from heaven. Hail is like the frozen rocks. You've probably seen it or heard it, like right before a tornado comes. That's hail, and it's really hard and it hurts. So God sent hail all of a sudden from heaven to come down on the armies to help defeat them. So that was really, really cool. And not one of Joshua's army was injured. They were protected. They were fine because they were God's people. So God interfered, and he came in and he put the hail down and helped Joshua defeat the enemy. Whoa, that is so cool. So Joshua, he knew that this is a lot of bad guys, right? This is a whole lot going on. And so they were still in this war. They were still in this battle, and they still had a lot of bad guys they had to get. And Joshua knew that he needed more sunlight. He needed more time before it got dark, like this. That'd be really hard to fight without being able to see anything, and it's super dark, right? That'd be really hard. And where'd you go? Ah, there you are. Sorry. So that would be really hard to try to defeat somebody when you can't even see them, right? So Joshua asked God, please, will you just keep the sun still in the sky and give me more daylight before it got dark so I could keep fighting and defeat these armies? So God did what he said. He held the sun in the sky for almost a whole day. Whoa, that would be crazy to see. That was the first time that had ever happened. It's amazing. God can hold the sun in the sky because Joshua asked him to. And God's our defender. And he wanted to help. He wanted to make sure that everything was going to be okay for the Israelites and Joshua's army. So, how cool is that? Our God is so powerful. He sent hail, hard rocks, frozen rocks from heaven to help defeat the enemy. And then he held the sun in the sky. Whoa, that is so cool. So that's an amazing lesson for us to remember. God is our defender. He will go before us, and he will always fight our battles for us. We just need to stop and ask him to do that, and then listen and obey what he tells us, because he's going to always be right. He's so powerful. He's the strongest. Nobody can win against him. So that's an awesome lesson. I'm so excited that we got to talk about that today. It's just amazing how we can rely on our God. So I can't wait to see what next week is. I hope you come back and join us and you had a lot of fun today. We'll see you next week. Bye.